Tonight on NewsVision, it's Autism Awareness Month, and we will show you what some organizations in South Florida are doing to help people with autism.
Just because your child has autism, it doesn't mean that something's wrong with them. They have superpowers. There's something that's right with them.
Plus, we'll take you on a tour to the brand new home of Inter Miami as they finalize construction. And later on, we will show you the unusual guest who literally dropped on one University of Miami course.
It was immediate, screaming horror, agony, immediate, disruption.
All these stories and more on tonight's episode, and it starts right now.
Breaking news tonight, Attorney General Pam Bondi has been fired, making it the second cabinet member that President Trump has dismissed in the last month. Sources say Trump had been weighing the move for days and delivered the news in what one person described as a tough conversation. The president had grown frustrated with Bondi on several fronts, including her handling of records tied to Jeffrey Epstein and a lack of prosecutions targeting his political opponents.
Good riddance. Pam Bondi was an absolute disaster. She was an embarrassment. It was a catastrophe. The way she handled this Epstein issue, and more importantly, the way she showed a complete, I wouldn't even just say disregard, but almost an utter contempt for the survivors and what they wanted throughout this process.
Media post, Trump says Bondi has a new job in the private sector. For now, Bondi will be replaced by Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who Trump says will serve as acting Attorney General. I'm Madison Block.
And I'm Shane McDonald. Breaking news on campus as well, as fire trucks were called to the Lakeside Village apartments this afternoon after fire alarms went off.
Amanda Mohammed is live at the scene with the latest. Amanda, what happened?
Coral Gables Fire and Police Department were called here to Lakeside Village Lobby A around 3:45 p.m. after a small kitchen fire on the 6th floor set off these sprinklers and fire alarms. Now, some students reported that they could even smell the fire from other floors as well as from Lobby B, which is connected to Lobby A, and both buildings were evacuated. Communications did not give us an official statement. However, around 4:10 p.m., they sent a text to all students and faculty asking them to avoid the area. Lakeside Village is home to more than 1,100 students, consists of 4 lobbies, and is mostly sophomore housing. Nobody was reported hurt, but students told me that they were not immediately informed of when they could re-enter their building, and as a result, they missed class or even missed flights to travel for the upcoming holiday weekend. Just after 5 p.m. though, Emergency Network sent a text that the fire department gave the all clear and that impacted students will be contacted directly by Housing and Residential Life. This is an ongoing situation. Live from Lakeside Village, Amanda Mohammed, UMTV.
Thanks, Amanda. This past weekend, a wave of demonstrations unfolded across South Florida as Miami joined the growing national movement known as No Kings.
Protesters say the message goes beyond politics, pointing to concerns over immigration, the economy, and federal leadership. Mary Stoss attended one of the protests and joins us with more. Mary?
On Saturday, crowds lined the sidewalk next to Little Havana's historic Tower Theater as protesters waved handmade signs and joined one another in powerful chants. In a neighborhood with deep immigrant roots, protesters on Calle Ocho say they will not stay quiet. Chants filled the streets of Calle Ocho in Miami's Little Havana on March 28th, as hundreds gathered with a clear message: no kings. This was one of just 3,300 rallies across all 50 U.S. states from Minnesota to New York and Chicago, and in cities around the world such as London and Paris. And while the movement has grown into a global phenomenon, here in Miami, protesters say the impact of national policies is hitting close to home.
Home values are going up, which is good news for the homeowners, but not so good news for renters, not so good news for people who have a regular job, who are living paycheck to paycheck.
Organizers say the No Kings movement is pushing back against what they see as executive overreach in the Trump administration. It comes as political tensions continue to rise following U.S. involvement with the war in Iran as gas prices surpass $4 a gallon. But in the heart of Little Havana, many say immigration policy is front and center, including concerns over ICE enforcement and the uncertain future of temporary protected status.
There is no such thing as an illegal human being. No such thing. All human beings are valued. All human beings are worthy. All of us. We are a nation of immigrants, and we must celebrate that.
This neighborhood has long been considered the heart of Miami's immigrant community, but it is not the only one. Local protest organizers say thousands gathered at Tropical Park, Miami Beach, and Coral Gables demanding social justice.
So we rally, not just because we hate Trump, but because we love what could be a better future. One where we have health care, not just warfare. A society that really provides liberty and justice for all.
Protesters say their message goes beyond politics, focusing instead on policy and calling for expanded access to healthcare, immigration reform, and stronger protections for civil rights.
And so we're here to protect the rights of every person in the United States, regardless if they're here on a status or if they're seeking to be a citizen or if they're multi-generational citizens. Regardless, we're here for human rights, we're here for justice and peace, and for what this country stands for.
And while the protests may be over for now, the debate over these issues and their impact on South Florida communities is far from settled. For UMTV, Mary Stoss.
Thanks, Mary. The Donald J. Trump Foundation has released a teaser video on Monday, March 30th, with renderings of his presidential library and museum in downtown Miami. The plans include a replica of the White House's Oval Office, the Boeing 747 aircraft gifted to Trump by the Qatari government, parked in the library's lobby, and an auditorium featuring a gold statue of Trump. The plan is for the library to be built near downtown Miami's Freedom Tower, a landmark that holds a special importance for Cuban immigrants in Florida, and is valued at $67 million across nearly 3 acres. The property faced legal challenges last fall after federal judge Mabel Ruiz paused the land transfer from Miami-Dade College to the state of Florida, but Ruiz threw out the case in December, and the transfer continued.
April is Autism Awareness Month, and the city of Coral Gables celebrated with a flag raising at the Coral Gables Police Headquarters this morning. This is the 4th year the flag raising ceremony has taken place in Coral Gables, but this year held special significance. This year's flag was created by students at Crystal Academy, which is an autism therapy center, in collaboration with attorney, advocate, and artist Haley Moss. The colorful flag featured handprints from parents, students, community members, and Moss herself.
When you raise that flag, it's calling for action, and it's calling for inclusion, it's calling for accommodations, it's calling for having it at the top of your mind that when we do things, we have to think about this population that is now 1 in 31.
Coral Gables was the first city in Miami-Dade County to raise the autism acceptance flag back in 2023, which helped inspire other cities to do the same. Dozens of residents and community members attended the event in support of autism acceptance and inclusion. The caravan of students continued through the city and arrived back at Crystal Academy later in the afternoon.
And South Florida is finding more ways to celebrate autism awareness this month with sports. Reporter Luke Bell visited one organization in Boca Raton that supports children with autism on the tennis court. And Luke, what was it like?
For many families, finding the right support system can be a challenge, especially when it comes to activities outside of the classroom. But one program based in South Florida is changing that, using a unique sport to make a difference.
Okay, time to do our stretches.
On the surface, it looks like a typical day on the tennis court. But for families like Mika Liang's, just getting here isn't easy.
It's just not easy for a kid to be on the spectrum. They really don't have a childhood. Their whole childhood is basically therapy. And it's hard for them. I think they don't even understand what life is about pretty much because they're just so focused on trying to figure out what life will be in the future.
April is Autism Awareness Month. In the U.S., 1 in 36 children are diagnosed with autism. And as diagnoses continue to rise nationwide, many families face limited access to specialized recreational programs for their children. Mika's challenges started early.
Well, she has a lot of OT issues, so she can't work with like her fingers a lot. She has like little strength on her fingers and hands and stuff, so she hates anything that has to do with her hands.
Her mom says finding something that wasn't fully therapy but still helped Mika was a struggle, until they found a tennis program designed specifically for people on the spectrum. Here at Love Serving Autism in Boca Raton, coaches and therapists use structured techniques like visual learning to help participants build skills one step at a time.
We take data. Every child has a goal that we set up. So a child may have a goal of using language to request a break, or using language to comment, or receptively being able to follow two-step commands on the court.
For Mika, being a part of this program has been invaluable.
Now that she's here after 4 years, she understands volley, she understands like the side hitting and everything, and it's amazing. It's just amazing. It's like a therapy with a workout.
Stories like Mika's highlight a much larger need, not just for therapy, but for spaces where young adults with autism can really express themselves. And as awareness grows, families say the next challenge is access, making sure programs like this aren't the exception, but the norm.
Love Serving Autism is now spread across 14 different states to increase the overall impact on these young adults with autism. And this organization is just one example of how sports can open doors and really build connections for these individuals on the autism spectrum. Rafaela Ochoa got to spend some time with a similar organization actually here in Miami doing the same exact thing. Rafaela, tell me about that.
Yeah, that's right. I spent time at a football clinic in North Miami hosted by a variety of organizations, one of them being ABA Centers of Florida, which provides therapy services for individuals with autism all over the state. And one thing that parents told me was that traditional sports environments are not that welcoming to individuals with autism, whether that be because of the loud noises or because the coaches don't understand their specific behavioral needs. But this program in North Miami, this football clinic, is aiming to change that.
For many kids, playing sports comes naturally.
What's your favorite sport?
Basketball. I like basketball!
But for 6-year-old Elijah Darling, this wasn't always the case. 2 years ago, when he was 4, Elijah was diagnosed with autism.
In the beginning, I was scared because I was like, oh my God, what do you mean he has autism? What does that mean? And it's because I didn't understand what that meant.
For many families, traditional sports environments feel overwhelming, loud, fast-paced, and not built for children with different needs.
They're not inclusive. They don't know how to deal with children that have different abilities and different behavior styles.
But spaces like this one are trying to change that. This sensory-friendly clinic is designed specifically for individuals on the spectrum. The clinic is hosted by former NFL athletes in partnership with ABA Centers of Florida, First Tee, and ADAPT Foundation. Organizers keep the group small, lower noise levels, and increase one-on-one support to make the space less overwhelming.
This is a great event to be able to secure a spot where the clients, the children, the individuals have that space, that safe space to really be themselves.
According to the CDC, autism affects 1 in 36 children in the United States, yet programs designed specifically for them remain limited.
Former NFL athletes like Kevin Elliott say programs like these can help build confidence both on and off the field.
It's just a lot of fun, a lot of, just playfulness, just to get them out and about and just doing maybe the simplest football movements there is. Just to see their creativity or how they express themselves when they choose to celebrate.
The clinic also focuses on emotional wellness, ending with a calming sound session to help kids reset and relax.
Just because your child has autism, it doesn't mean that something's wrong with them. They have superpowers. There's something that's right with them.
For families like Elijah's, this is about more than just sports. It's about finally having a place where they belong. For UMTV, I'm Rafaela Ochoa.
Time for a short break now, but don't go anywhere because coming up, you never know who might drop in unexpectedly during your class here at the U. We will show you what happened in one psychology class at the Witten Learning Center this week, and we'll introduce you to one South Florida choir championing diversity in performances. Don't go anywhere. Tonight, the University of Miami's Centennial Dining Hall is hosting its annual Iron Chef competition, giving students the opportunity to showcase their culinary skills.
And with us is Johnny Mustian live at the competition to tell us more, right in his famous chef hat. Johnny, what's going on?
Yeah, guys, it is quite the exciting time here in the Centennial Dining Hall. You see, the annual Iron Chef competition, which is hosted by UM's Teaching Kitchen, used to be featured in Mahoney Pearson before moving its way all the way across campus into these state-of-the-art facilities back in 2024. Now, while students are able to learn how to cook in these facilities, this competition is the only opportunity they have to compete against other students for a very special prize. Now, currently, there are 4 student organizations that are competing, and at the very end, they were judged by not only UM Dining members, but also former winners of the event. And hopefully, if I'm lucky enough, I'll be able to try some of the delicious food that was cooked right behind me. Live from the Centennial Dining Hall for UMTV, I'm Johnny Mustian.
Excited to see what they're cooking up, Johnny. Dozens of psychology students experienced a University of Miami first this weekend when 2 possums fell through the ceiling of their classroom on Tuesday morning. It happened in Whitten Learning Center, room 170, for an 8 a.m. introduction to psychology class. Students say they heard noises coming from the ceiling, and Professor Melissa Noya called UM's facilities department as the noise became louder during class time. A facility staff member arrived just before 9 a.m. and said he would come back when the class ended around 9:15. But just a few minutes after he left, students say a mother possum fell through the ceiling at the front of the classroom with a baby in her mouth. Oh, and the University of Miami officials sent out an email saying the safety of the campus community is our top priority, and facilities, operations, and staff responded immediately to the Whitten classroom, and the 2 possums were removed humanely. The animals did not come in contact with those in the classroom, and the room and ceiling were secured. For now, the psychology class that was set in that classroom will take place in the School of Communication for the remainder of the semester.
The University of Miami's Veteran Students Organization has hosted its annual Sweat with Vets event on April 1st. Sweat with Vets is a military-inspired fitness challenge held on UM's Foot Green. Students competed in a pull-up record challenge, advanced obstacle course, tire flipping, ammo can carrying, and more. No military experience required. Students learned more about the resources Veteran Students Organization offered and win prizes for record times, including gift cards to the UM's Rathskeller Bar.
Where veterans are graduating, and at the graduation ceremony they were met with so many other veterans. They had no idea the Veteran Student Organization existed. We want to give them this opportunity. They actually know that there is a community.
After taking a few years off from the event during the COVID-19 pandemic, Veteran Students Organization brought back Sweat with Vets last spring to spread their mission of bringing student veterans together on campus.
And yeah, working out in front of people is not easy. Singing might be a little more difficult, and for some, it might feel out of reach. But One Miami Choir is changing at the tune of who gets to perform.
Leila Pettis met with the group and is here to tell us more. Leila, who can be a part of this choir?
Everyone can be a part of it, and that's the beauty of this group. The choir represents over 20 different ethnicities and welcomes singers of all different backgrounds and ethnicities, because you don't need to be perfect to sing with this choir.
It doesn't start perfect, and for many here, that's the point.
I was a little scared because I am from France and I never sing before.
When David Tessier moved from France to Miami, he was starting over. New country, new city, new language, and no experience singing.
Before I start, I was feeling that, can I do it?
For many adults, music doesn't feel accessible. Lessons can be expensive, traditional choirs require auditions, and for those without any experience, just walking into a space like this can feel intimidating. That's where Miami Sound Choir comes in. No auditions and no experience required.
So when we open the doors to as many people as possible, make it as accessible as possible, we all benefit from seeing people who are different from us, being in the same room as them, learning each other.
The choir started in 2019 with just 35 singers. Today it's grown to more than 150 members, ranging from people in their 20s to their 80s, and about half have never sung before.
There's some really cool older women in the choir, and it's like, when I grow up, I get to be you.
It's what some call an intergenerational space, where people who might never cross paths find common ground through music. For David, what started as fear became a way to build confidence, friendships, and navigate life in a new country.
And he's learned the English language. He's learning to master that language because he gets to practice singing in that language every week.
Now I am more confident. I am happy because I'm gonna sing with my friends.
In a city where many people are looking for connection, spaces like this offer more than just music. They offer a place to be heard.
You can catch David and the choir on May 21st performing for free at the Miami Beach Band Show. And if you're interested in joining, you can check MiamiSoundChoir.com in August to sign up for the fall season.
Yeah, and Layla, speaking of singing, over in Studio C, 8:30 tonight, Off the Wire, the musical. Madison, you got any favorite musicals of yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, I really love musicals. Singing in the Rain, you know, favorite of mine, so.
Yep, and speaking of rain, hopefully it doesn't rain this weekend as Ann Podolsky's got us with the weather. Ann, what you got?
All those skies are clear here in Miami. Out in Fort Myers and Naples, they might be singing in the thunder. You could see all these lightning bolts across the west coast of South Florida. Here in Miami, though, staying absolutely clear. A few thunderstorms to the south in Homestead. But those clearer conditions are going to persist for the next few hours. What you are going to notice as you are heading out tonight is those wind values. We have 20 miles per hour as our gusts here in Miami. Those are going to stay fairly high as we head into tomorrow as well. They dissipate a little bit overnight, but it's this easterly wind that's pushing in all this moisture from the ocean that's actually going to contribute to some of the rain chances that we'll be seeing over the next few days. Some of these percentages are fairly low for Friday and Saturday. That's going to be the time to get outside and enjoy that sunshine. But as you can see, those precipitation values absolutely skyrocket by the time we head into Tuesday because of a front that's going to be moving through the area. You can see those widespread showers over Miami on Saturday night and afternoon, but by the time we head into Sunday and Monday, that front is going to be forming, pushing through Miami, and you can see those dark green values that are going to be representing some more heavier precipitation and even some thunderstorms that we could be seeing. And that widespread and intense precipitation is going to continue into Wednesday night as well, so make sure to have those umbrellas with you as you head into the middle of next week. Unfortunately for our Easter plans, though, I have some bad news. Those thunder and rain conditions are going to be sticking around. We have 82 degrees and we have some afternoon thunder as well, so if you are looking to get outside for those Easter plans, I definitely recommend going in the morning. That's when you're going to see that sunshine out for those outside plans. As for Friday and Saturday, we have those lower precipitation values. Like I said, the time to get outside. But as we head into earlier next week, you can see those dips in temperatures that are going to be associated with that front. So make sure to get outside now while you can.
Thank you, Ann. The weather was perfect on Wednesday night when NASA's Artemis program took its next big step towards returning astronauts to the moon. The Artemis 2 mission crew launched from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida with 4 astronauts. This is NASA's first trip to the moon for the first time in over 50 years. The mission is a 10-day marathon across the stars with the goal of testing out the Orion spacecraft's vital systems. On the 6th day, the crew will become the first humans to ever lay eyes on parts of the dark side of the moon.
Why do you want to be here? Why do you love space? Why do you love being a part of history?
We're going back to the freaking moon, that's why.
That's why.
We're sending a woman, a person of color, and a Canadian to the moon, and we're sending a manned spacecraft, the farthest we've ever sent a spacecraft before.
This mission is part of a planned Artemis 3 mission in 2027 and Artemis 4 in 2028, which will take humans back to the moon's surface.
Welcome to sports. I'm Taryn Jacobs. Golf legend Tiger Woods is stepping away from golf indefinitely. On Tuesday, he posted a statement saying that he understands the seriousness of the situation and needs to get treatment and focus on his health. This comes after Woods' rollover car crash in Jupiter on Friday, resulting in another DUI charge. This is his fourth major crash. The arrest affidavit says Woods had 2 hydrocodone pills in his pocket, bloodshot eyes with dilated pupils, and was lethargic when he failed field sobriety tests. Woods claimed that he was looking down at his phone and changing the radio when he didn't realize the truck in front of him slowed down. Woods pleaded not guilty and is now seeking treatment outside of the United States due to privacy concerns. And the reigning MLS champs Inter Miami is finally playing well in Miami. New stadium is opening this Saturday, and the first game will be played against Austin. Liam Hickey went to the stadium and to see it up close. Liam, how's it looking?
Inside the beautiful new stadium, that's spelled NU, which is the now permanent home of Inter Miami Football Club. Slated to open to the public on Saturday when Miami kicks off against Austin FC. The new venue seats a capacity of 26,700 and is marking a long-awaited homecoming for the city after the club had played its games in Fort Lauderdale since its expansion. Now, according to the Miami Herald, joining the team and making the move over to the Freedom Park District is Miami City Hall, along with possibly the police department headquarters, pending a traffic study. New stadium is one of 3 soccer-specific stadiums scheduled to be unveiled within the MLS within the next 3 years, and it all starts before 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday night when Miami will celebrate their 2025 championship-winning season. From outside New Stadium, Liam Hickey, UMTV.
Thanks, Liam. The Final Four is almost here, and this year the big games are happening in Indianapolis. Arizona, Michigan, UConn, and Illinois advanced to the Final Four. They are all 1, 2, and 3 seeds. UConn merely avoided being sent home thanks to a Duke turnover late in the game and a buzzer beater from almost half court by Braylon Mullins, which you can see right there. But each of these teams all have something different going for them. Arizona is arguably the most well-rounded team, falling in the top 10 for both offensive and defensive efficiency. Michigan has an elite defense, and Illinois with a deep offense. The Fighting Illini will be playing for their first national title. And of course, UConn led by Dan Hurley, who could win his 3rd title in 4 years. It's set to be a good slate of games on Saturday night. Can't wait to watch them. And Canes baseball is rolling, picking up their first ACC series win against Clemson this weekend. Plus, they remain undefeated in the midweek games, coming out with a 12-4 win against Florida Gulf Coast. Let's go to Marklite Field for the highlights. We pick it up in the 3rd. Derek Williams at the plate. He connects a bomb to deep left field. 374 yards is how far that one will go. That's his 11th of the season. We take it to the 4th now. Jake Ogden nails one to center. That will be good for a single. He brings Cheyenne home with him. Miami goes up 5-3. Now Jake Doran on the mound for Miami in relief. 4 strikeouts on the night. 3 scoreless innings. Now you have Alex Sosa in the 6th. Gets right under it down the right field line. He brings 2 runs into home. Miami goes up 7-3. Sosa now in the run for catcher of the year. 2 batters later now, Brylan West crushes this out of Marklite Park. I think that one landed somewhere over there on the track. 380-something yards is how far that one will go. Miami goes up 9-3. Jake Ogden again in the 7th. Perfect on the night, 4 for 4 on the fielding error that you can see there. And Danny Dinger's up after him, bringing him home. A perfect hit, one can say, all the way down to deep right field in the corner. Miami wins 12-4.
Yeah, Taryn, this team is really exciting to go watch. The Miami Mashers are back. They're hitting their bats, and you got to love watching this team play.
100%. It's been fun watching them. It was fun watching them at the beginning of the season when they were putting up football scores, but now they're back in motion.
I mean, this is a super important game for them, so definitely congratulations to the team.
Absolutely.
That's all we have for this edition of NewsVision.
We'll be back next Thursday at 7 p.m. Have a good night.